SGC here, and today's movie review is Disconnect.
Hey, Disconnect, I saw that movie.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Disconnect, directed by Henry Alex Rubin, and I don't think he's done anything prior to this. As I look up his information, he was like mentored by James Mangold, you know, the dude that did Walk the Line starring, you know, The Rock. And he hasn't done anything, and he's directed commercials. I would say that he's pretty good for a direct. I would say that he's a good debut.
Yeah.
You say?
Yeah.
For a debuting.
I don't know. It was
director.
his first movie. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so just some background information. Disconnect was actually a limited release back in the States in 2012, and actually
Americans couldn't handle it. Too real.
It came out in April of this year. I cannot say things right, but it came out April of this year, and Canadians didn't get it because I have not heard of this
We
film.
couldn't handle it either. Yeah.
But Hong Kong can handle it, so Hong Kong gets it because they're just so strong and they're so slice of life.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
probably the best word to describe this movie, huh?
heavy
Slice.
a big slice.
That was
of
a
life.
big slice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Let's
just
talk about it.
just talk about
the plot.
Let's talk about the plot, or maybe we'll just move the cast.
I want to go with cast first.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jason Bateman, the biggest name.
Yep. He does his trademark face a lot in this movie. The one on the intro. I don't know what I was expecting. Yeah, he does that a lot.
Yeah, and then looking at the cast, I mean, who else do we know, or potentially could know, is Andrea Roseborough, I can't pronounce, Roseborough? But she was in Oblivion. Have you watched Oblivion?
No.
But she was in Oblivion.
I'm not in that review.
So you're not in that review. Alexander Skarsgård, you're really good with pronouncing.
Oh, good luck with that one. I have no idea.
But Alexander Skarsgård is from True Blood.
Sorry, Alex.
Yeah, sorry, dude. And that's pretty much it for no names.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, there was
Jason
that.
Bateman was the biggest name in this movie.
Yeah, but and there's actually one more name we missed.
Oh.
Paula Batten. She was in Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol.
Oh,
she was that
no
chick.
wonder.
She looked familiar.
Yeah.
So, now we can go to the plot.
Let's talk about the plot.
You can drop the plot.
Do you want me to do just a quick summary or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Summary. No spoilers.
As far as no spoilers go, the story follows three main groups of characters. One. I think the one we meet first is a news reporter who decides to do a case on, on online sex shows, and she eventually decides to do an interview with one of the people there. The second case is a slightly dysfunctional family with Jason Bateman is the father, who is a lawyer, and he doesn't really see his family, and his son ends up getting into an online relationship. The third case, two high school boys who decide to make up a fake online identity of a girl and pretty much just trick a guy into falling in love with the entity.
The entity.
Yeah,
the concept.
Someone the person who isn't real.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually these plots. I'm missing one.
Missing one.
Sorry, the fourth one with Paula Patton.
Yeah, Paula Patton.
Her and her husband they lost their child, and they're still grieving. They're kind of a dysfunctional family as well. If you notice, it's kind of a running theme, kind of dysfunctional relationships. Their marriage is not well. They lost a baby, and recently someone has just stolen all of their money. Identity theft.
Yeah.
And somehow all these four stories intertwine and
becomes connected.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you like about this film?
What did I like? One, camera and kind of the whole art direction. I thought the movie looked really nice.
Yeah.
And they had good use of lens flare. I think it's not like J.J. Abrams. It wasn't Star Trek like that.
Like,
Yep, it was good. I liked that. The music was also really good. In particular, there's one piece that someone actually in the movie writes, and it kind of turns into the soundtrack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that piece was really moving. The characters, for the most part, they did a really good job of, I guess, portraying the kind of the emotions.
Yeah.
You could believe that you were watching the real thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
real.
real. I think is the best thing
Yes.
about it. It's so
Yeah.
sometimes it's too real, and I think
Just
we'll get
like-
to that in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To build on your like comment on like the how it's filmed.
yeah.
Like when the credits were rolling, I noticed that the second unit for the directorial whatever was actually directed by a Japanese guy. There was a Japanese on the second unit, so I was like, Japanese are known for like crazy real like.
Well, you got something against Japanese people?
No, but I'm just saying that they know
know
what
I'm
they're
Japanese,
doing.
right?
Yes, Wesley-san. Yeah. So like, I was just like, yeah, like maybe they got some like pointers. I don't know. It was just something I noticed. I was like, whoa, it's a Japanese name. I didn't expect a Japanese name in the credit roll. And building on your cast, I would say Jason Bateman wasn't front and center.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
that's true. He didn't get as much screen time as I thought he would. Definitely, especially because he's like the biggest guy in this movie.
Yeah,
you can
like-
go look at the cast list yourself and be like, who are these people?
Yeah. Like Andrea Rosenbarrow
What?
was
Yeah.
this movie came out before Oblivion, so it's even a no name. So yeah, I was surprised how they handled the cast. Like it
The
was
child actors too, I think, did a really good job.
Yeah.
So the two high school boys,
Yeah.
the two that they followed, stellar job.
which is always risky because with,
Yeah, child
with child
actors.
actors sometimes they're inconsistent or like near the end they break and then or maybe it's like a script problem.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so I give them props for actually having like what 4 kids running around.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, at least 4 kids. So yeah, like the fact that they balance all their characters well, like I would give props to like the story as in like you cared for these people. Like
Yeah.
it was real.
It's very well written. Yes.
Like sometimes when you have such a big cast, like big name or no name, you would sometimes feel like you're more connected to a certain maybe just connected to one story and go like, I'm sick of these people, like get off the screen, I want to see my story. But throughout I felt like it was building.
all of these stories had something you could relate to, and sometimes I felt like I couldn't wait until I could see the next part of that person's story, and then you would see one, you're like, I want to see the next, I want to see the next, I want to see the
Yeah.
next, I want to see how these people are doing.
Yeah.
It was great.
Cause the build up was just like consistent. Like I think sometimes like if you write and then you don't have that consistency, you'll be like, oh, this is drag.
Yeah.
But then you would want to know, and
I feel like the tone and emotion of this movie, if I could make you a chart almost, it kind of just goes up and down a little bit. If we call this happy and this sad, it kind of go up and down, and then you get a little sad, and then you come back up, and then by the last act of the movie, it just goes, oh!
yeah.
And I feel like the third act, I think, was well done, because it kind of ties everything together. And then I guess it's the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
You would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the beginning, you just see some people walking around, and you could see people's lives are broken, and then all of a sudden, a kid is getting hit in the head with a hockey stick.
Yeah, you're just
and-
like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I think
was-
kind of the thing we've been avoiding is that sometimes it gets too real. If it kind of toes the line on being
A documentary.
I was gonna say it kind of toes the line on being too sad, too
Yeah.
emotive, and
They're just
maybe
playing
almost
with,
into
you're just
exploitative territory.
trying to make me cry.
Yeah, you're trying to make
Too
you cry.
hard.
Oh, electronics are bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think anyone can connect. No pun intended. Connect with this disconnected film, because I mean, like we're all like social media, like plugged in now,
Yeah.
and
It's,
then
it's an interesting look into
it's
modern
like
life.
yeah. I mean, like your sister watched it.
Yeah, she did not know it was coming. But to be honest, neither did I.
Yeah, we actually thought it was gonna be a trailer.
Yeah.
And a thriller.
That's how the trailer showed it.
It was
We all
not
thought,
a
"All right,
thriller."
well, It's okay, and then
There was thrills.
yeah.
It was like, whoa, that's actually happening. So yeah, so do you not like? What do you not like about this film?
Yeah, I guess I kind of stated it. Sometimes it kind of towed the line of being almost too sad, and then yeah, I guess sometimes it doesn't get there, but sometimes it almost gets to the point where it's like this could not happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're just making things up to make me feel bad. But it doesn't go there. But sometimes I feel like you're just kind of getting close.
Which is interesting because I mean, this entire film is impossible.
Yeah.
Like, these are worse situations in different people's lives in different locations, and then you fling them all into a pot and you had a disconnect.
If you woke up late for work, got fired, and then a pigeon crapped on your head in the same day, your life would still not be as bad as the people in this movie.
Yeah.
That's how bad they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like if you watched it again, you'd probably lose a lot on your second watching, just because then you know what happens,
Yeah.
and a lot of the suspense is gone. I think one of the best things this movie does is the suspense, because you don't know what's going to happen, and everyone is kind of so fragile.
But at the same time, you know that with like so many films like that are done in this way, where different plot lines all converge, and you're still waiting for that.
Yeah,
moment,
you're wondering how do these relate?
because it does feel random. Like how are they going to connect to each other?
And they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, which is nice.
Because I mean, if you make that conversion, like I don't know if that's a word. Like when they connect, if it didn't make sense, it would totally be like, that was pointless.
Then you might as well just have made 4 movies.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, recommended.
Yeah, I'd say it's a really good movie. I'd never watch again. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's things to think about, really.
Yeah, it's heavy. I'll give you that.
Like when we finished the movie, we're like,
Yeah, the rest of the day just ruined.
and
Absolutely ruined.
and we watched this in the morning.
Yeah, we did.
First showing. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
No problem. Always here to inspire. So do you think there is a reason why Canada never got this? Like, was it too...
I probably think it was maybe a little too raw. Maybe the guys at the board thought.
That's
I
true.
don't think Canadian audiences are cut out for this.
Like, it was... Actually, no, wait. We lied. Or I lied. Toronto had it for a while.
Everything happens in Toronto.
But, like, we didn't get it. I was like, dude, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I want to watch this. Because Jason Bateman, because he's... You know, sometimes he's hit and miss, but I was like, it looked interesting. Like, I gave you the trailer, and you thought it was interesting. So we watched it, and this is how we thought about it.
Maybe the board thought it would be too serious for people to watch. Like, I guess I could kind of see their line of thinking in that they would think, oh, you know, people come to the movies for a good time.
That's true.
Now, this movie, you probably will not have a good time watching.
If you do...
Like, it's a good movie. It's great. I'd compare it to probably Requiem of a Dream, if you guys have seen it. It's a great movie. That just is so sad.
Yeah.
And you have to, like, set aside a day to watch this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this review of Disconnect, starring Jason Bateman, who is hardly in it. Anyway, that is all. And, yeah, I don't really talk much at the end. But, yeah, watch it if you have the chance. Like, it's probably going to be out in DVD soon. Yeah, it's not that long, but it felt long, didn't it? It's only 115 minutes.
It felt a bit long, yeah.
Yeah. Like, there was some maybe slightly draggy, but it's okay.
Maybe you could have cut out 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah. So, yep, that is all for this review of Disconnect. See ya.
Bye.